You can have all that you wanted, darling. No, the world is yours. I've been up chasing the sunsets just to see if there's more. 'Cause it's been so long since I tried to love. It's been so long since I tried to love. It's been so long since I tried to love. It's been so long since I tried love.
With us is the one and only Paul Rodriguez. How are you?
Well, I'm getting older, but not wiser.
What are you eating?
Well, I got the whole thing here. I'm eating Bobby Salazar's salsa. I got chips. I got mango.
Oh my
I got
gosh!
Lemons. I got St. Archer's beer. This is my kid's beer company.
That's your beer company?
Well, this is my son. My son owns St. Archer's beer.
Where can I get it?
So you can get it at all the Whole Food stores. You can get it at Trader Joe's.
Is it a healthy beer? Why is it at the healthy stores? Is it a healthy one?
I don't know. I think he's dating one of the cashiers. You know, but yeah, my kid's in industry. He's pretty good too. I wouldn't say it if I didn't like it.
Oh, well, I love beer. I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna do our Bobby Salazar's together.
Called St. Archer's and Bobby Salazar beer. You'll be in chip heaven. Yeah.
I will be. So where does where does he put the beer at though? Where do you guys make it?
It's brewed in San Diego.
Nice.
A couple of years ago, my kid called me up and he said, "Dad, I got this investment opportunity." And I go, Paul, you know, I know how to manage my own money. Boy, did I make a mistake. They bought a little company called St. Archer's Brewing Company, and then he got about 10 partners from the X Games. I think there's less partners now. Some of them have been bought off. I'm not too sure on it, but you know, I had read somewhere that little microbreweries was not a good investment because none of them were successful, and he didn't listen to me. That's why he's successful. And next thing you know, people are calling me up. He goes, "Hey, is that your kid's beer? I saw it at the store." I don't know how he did it, but he made it work.
That's impressive.
Me, I'm just eating my words. You know?
You are so funny, but you've been in so many movies. So many. Explain your career. Take us through the little journey.
Well, let's see. Where do I begin? Well, quite accidental, really. It wasn't my profession. This is not what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to be Devin Nunes. But things didn't work out. So right by accident, I got out of the Air Force, and then I went to college, and I went to a counselor, and the counselor said, he said, "Well, if you want to be an attorney, you should take some acting classes because, after all, you know, I want to be a trial lawyer. So a trial lawyer is, you have to act in front of 12 people. What the hell's going on here? Oh, there's wind. But I did, and my first 3 months there, a casting director from Universal Pictures came over there looking for a guy named Jose Perez. They were doing a movie called DC Cab, and I had no intention of going into movies or anything like that, but I was broke. I was living on my GI Bill, and then I was working at a furniture store. So when I found out, my buddy, may God rest his soul, Jesse Aragon, he said, "Dude, you can get as much as $60,000 if you get this part in this movie." Wow. My eyes went bing. Wow. So I auditioned for Joel Schumacher, and I got it. And you know, that's how I got into this. And after that, I kept saying, well, I'll do one more, and then after that, I'll go back to Cal State Long Beach. And I'm still saying that, but now it's too late. You know now.
So what was the movie for Joel Schumacher? What was the movie?
It was DC Cab with Mr. T. With Bill Maher.
I love it.
One of the funniest guys ever, Charlie Barnett. You know, Marsha Warfield. If that movie would have been a bomb, I would have been an attorney now with my face on all the buses in Los Angeles saying, "Tienes oportunidad? Have you hurt yourself? Call 22222. 555." But it was a hit, and then so I figured, okay, I'll give myself a chance, and then another one came along, Quicksilver with Kevin Bacon, and then Born in East LA, and then after that, I wasn't going to go back.
A Cinderella story.
Well, a rags to more rags story, you know. But yeah, that's how it started, and you know, I was looking back the other day, and I got a couple movies coming out before the pandemic. I'm in Clifford, the Big Dog, you know, the children's book.
Yeah.
The Paramount Pictures.
Or do you play the dog?
Last summer. Everybody says that. No. Clifford is the animated. It's animated. He's a 10-foot dog, and
oh, so it's all
there's a lot of good
voiceover.
people.
I didn't know if they were making it into like a live. You know, they always do that.
It's done. It's done. You have John Cleese from Monty Python is in it. You have who else? A bunch of people. The star is this little girl named Christine. She's the daughter of Reese Witherspoon in a HBO series, Dirty Little Secrets or something like that.
Yes.
Little Lies. Little Lies, Dirty Little Lies, something like that. She's gonna be a big star. She's wonderful in it. And the movie is basically about the Sanchez brothers. Horacio from Saturday Night Live, the first Latino Saturday Night Live. He's my co-star there. And who else is in it? They have who's that Indian comic? What's the guy? Russell Peters. And the guy from I Know How You Killed Your Mom. I Know What You Did Last Summer or something. Anyways, they have a great ensemble.
Nice.
David Arquette, yeah.
Oh, great.
So
but you were in the movie A Cinderella Story.
I was in Cinderella Story. I was the chef. I was in. People don't seem to remember though. The only thing they remember is Born in East LA. Although I've been in like 40 pictures. I was in Blood Work with Clint Eastwood. I was in The World's Fastest Indian with Sir Anthony Hopkins. I did Tortilla Soup. Rough Magic with Russell Crowe. Ali with Will Smith. Jamie Foxx. I'm in a few.
Paul, what was one of your favorites? What was one of your favorite experiences? I know you like all of them, but tell us about
my favorite.
One of them.
Well, I don't like all of them. No, trust me, I don't like all of them. I did a bunch of dogs. Like I did G-Men from Hell for Coppola, and that was an experience. But every once in a while, I finished one in Mexico called Ruta Madre that I like. It's in Spanish. A lot of Spanish actors. I would have to say Anthony Hopkins and Clint Eastwood, Russell Crowe. It was one of the nicest experiences, you know. It was really nice working with. I found myself sitting right next to Anthony Hopkins, and I kept saying to myself, man, any day now they're going to come and grab me by the neck and go, sorry, we made a mistake. Anthony Hopkins was a very, very nice man. He's married to a Latina. He's married to a lady from Venezuela, and she had seen a movie called Tortilla Soup, which is a chick flick, and she loved it, so she told her husband, hey, get that guy from Tortilla Soup, and that guy was me.
That's how that happened? That's how you got cast?
Pretty much. It wasn't on my talent, God knows.
Wow.
It was the same. You know, that movie has gotten me a bunch of movies. For example, Clint Eastwood was married to a Hispanic. I think they broke up.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And she liked that movie. She liked Tortilla Soup. My sister's favorite. You know, basically Tortilla Soup is a remake of Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, which is a famous Chinese movie, I think it was, and it was with Hector Elizondo, the guy from Woman in Red. Pretty Woman, and I like it too. You know, it was who was my co-star? What's her name? She passed away.
Elizabeth Pena.
Elizabeth Pena, one of the greatest actresses. She was in La Bamba, and she was in Jacob's Ladder and a lot of other movies. And Hector Elizondo, of course, he's been in everything.
Right.
And I got that because she liked that movie, and she told Clint Eastwood, and next thing you know, I was in that movie.
One chick flick and everything happened.
I want to do more chick flicks. Unfortunately, my chick flick days are over. You know, if I'm lucky, I'll be playing a character actor in you know, the Living Dead or something. Who knows?
So, Paul, stand-up. What was first, the movies or the stand-up? Because I know you're from the stand-up. I mean, that's your stand-up's awesome.
Well, stand-up was kind of like it's like a part-time job, really. And then I got to love it. It was always stand-up, really. But I got a movie, and then by that time, I was hanging out at the Comedy Store with some of the greats. As a matter of fact, today, just a few minutes ago, I was talking to Richard Lewis. He's a good buddy of mine. He was Richard Lewis is one of the perennial greats. You might know him from the series Curb Your Enthusiasm, and but he and I did an HBO special with Robin Williams and Martin Mull and Billy Crystal and myself. It's called it was at the Improv's 25th or 15th anniversary. So we stayed in touch. A lot of them have gone, good friends. Robin was a good friend. I miss him terribly, and so was man. So many have passed away. Jamie, you know,
Gary
Shandling, and Rodney Dangerfield. I did a couple movies with Rodney too. It was just, it's amazing how time goes by fast, you know.
But Paul, you don't mind, we're going to go a little into your roots. You're a Central California boy.
I did. I call that home. Central California, yeah, the valley right there, and from the big city of Selma, Dinuba, Reedley, Orange Cove. Orange Cove is where I bought my mama a ranch, and you know, home is where your mama lives, and I've always considered that area. But I got a lot of family there.
So, what do they think of your success? Because I came from the valley too, and you really made it. They must be so proud.
Well, it's all relative, you know. It's all relative. I've always been comfortable in my skin, you know. I had my day in the sun. I had my 15 minutes of fame, and now, you know, the hot guys are Felipe Esparza, you know, Fluffy, Lopez, all of them. They were all kind of people that I tutored, I helped.
apprentices.
My apprentices? No, they won't like that. But you know, I've been very fortunate, you know.
So you tutored them.
I've always said this when people ask me. When people ask me about Hollywood, I always said, look, if you're walking down a beach and you find a bottle and you open it and a genie comes out and he says, you want talent or do you want luck? Always go with luck, because there's a lot of very talented people who, for one reason or another, will never get a chance. But then there's a lot of lucky people who really don't have that much talent, but well, enough of the Kardashians. Let's talk about. They have other attributes.
So who tutored you? Who got you into like, oh, do this, do that, go this route, and you can do stand-up and this movie? Who was the one that kind of guided you, besides your agent? But who has guided you in the business?
Well, it's kind of, for me, it was kind of like a on-the-job training. But I would have to say Murray Becker. This is an old guy. He was my first manager. The movie Bobby Rose. What was it? The Woody Allen movie.
Danny Rose.
Danny Rose. Broadway Danny Rose was patterned after Murray Becker, and he saw me at a place, a strip joint called what was it called, the Cave, the Comedy Cave in Hollywood. And in between the dancers, they would bring on these comics and give you $25, and you go out there and do jokes. And of course, all the men there, they don't want to hear jokes. They're there to see young ladies in the nude. But it was if you could make those people laugh, then people who weren't in those kind of situations weren't going to be that hard. It was a good training ground. And Murray Becker was this guy. He had dancers. He had girls who could make twirl things from the end of their nipples. And he had like a guy with a parrot who cussed, and he had all kinds of weird acts. I was just third stand-up, but he has some really good stand-ups. George Carlin was one of his first. Jay Leno was one of his first clients back when I was Carlin, and Carlin actually used to do it with a partner, Burns and Carlin, and then Jay Leno, and then he signed me up, and just when I was about to make it, he died. So I was out of a manager, and then just things seem to happen. Sometimes I think that the things you chase in life you don't get. It's the things that chase you, Yeah.
But you've done some great things. I know you're very modest, but you came back to the Central Valley and helped people. In 2004, you did a lot of stuff for farmers. Talk a little about the things you've done.
Well, that's kind of one of the reason I got involved with the water situation was because my mom called me up one day and she says, hey, they turned the water off to our ranch. I bought some acres of oranges there for my family. They were migrant farm workers. That's the only thing they knew how to do. And I figured it'd be just a question of me going up there and paying the bill or whatever it was. I figured my brother George pocketed the money, didn't pay the bills. But I went over there, and it took me 8 years before that thing was resolved. I learned everything you want to know about water in the valley. I know, about the federal pumps and the state pumps and the smelt, the Delta smelt, and consequently that got me into politics. Something I regret because I lost a lot of friends. Because when I went over there, the Democrats wouldn't see me. And the only people that would see me were the Republicans, and I didn't care. I just wanted water.
Right.
And after a while, I found myself on shows like Hannity and on Fox, and people would send me hate mail, you're with those racist people. And it was a nightmare, but I didn't care as long as we got water. And we petitioned the Obama administration to open up the pumps. Nothing happened. And although I'm not here to support Trump or support whoever, I've learned my lesson. Mr. Trump, within 6 months, 8 months of his administration, we called Devin Nunes, and holy cow, he opened the water, and there's water in the valley there. But it wasn't really my doing; it was the doing of all the farmers there. All the people that marched there. I didn't know anything else to do, so one day I said, let's march all the way to the dam. I forget what it is. What's called now the flat. What's the dam up there?
Pine Flat? Or
Pine Flat.
Okay.
And we marched from there, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger flew in. And to make a long story short, I think the farmers have water now, but it wasn't really my doing. It was the doing of all the people there.
I know,
because
but
when they cut the water off. Yeah, I'll take credit for helping.
I mean, you went there, you made it, you came back, you helped, us, and I have a farming family from the valley too.
I just wanted to get water for my mom, and look, it turned out to be I became Cesar Chavez Light, Cesar Chavez Light. It's I knew Cesar too, and he was a great man. But consequently, the United Farm Workers kind of got upset at me. They said, this guy's meddling, he doesn't know what he's doing. And I didn't understand why wouldn't the United Farm Workers be on board and, to help get water. But there's a lot of politics involved.
Isn't that amazing?
Let's let bygones be bygones, yeah.
But it's there's just so many facets of your life and career. It's so exciting. It's so inspiring. What's next besides the project you talked about?
What's next? Probably a plot of land right next to my parents there at the cemetery. I'm still working. What I want to do now is I've been doing plays. Before the COVID-19 situation happened, I was in the middle of a play with Rita Rudner at the Laguna Playhouse, one of the joys of my life. I figured that for the last 3 years I've been doing theater because my goal is to, when I retire, to go to Fresno and start a theater company, kind of like Teatro Campesino, to help young Latinos or young kids who want to get into acting. I figured I'm going to retire there, so I'll start a theater company, the Fresno Theater Company. I was on my way to doing that, and so I went to. I figured, I've been in a lot of movies, but you're not really an actor until you do theater. So I went with my friend Bill Burgess to San Diego, and I started to perform over at the Old Globe Theater. I got in line, I got little parts, and then we did The Odd Couple with Mike Gomez, a very great actor, very nice Latino actor. and we got good reviews. And from there, I got offered to go to the Odyssey in Los Angeles. I did a play called Steam Bath. Steam Bath is a famous play where God is a Puerto Rican. It takes place in a steam bath. It's kind of like purgatory. And I won the Robbie, which is the best actor for theater. So I said, whoa. And next thing you know, I get a call from the Laguna Playhouse, which is a very distinguished company. And Rita Rudner and I were doing Barefoot in the Park, which is a Neil Simon play. And then we were getting great reviews. We were sold out shows. And I thought I was on my way to Broadway, which is the only thing I got left to do. Is my dream to be on Broadway one day. And then this thing happened, so it kind of put everything on halt. But you know, they say that we make plans and then God decides. You know, and
right.
Now I'm just here at home with my friend Mel, my Chihuahua, and Bobby Salazar salsa.
So how did you get to know Bobby? Why do you like Bobby's salsa?
Well, Bobby helped me out a lot. You know, I mean, I was doing a play in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Performing Arts Center at the Los Angeles Theater. A very hard place to get there. And I wrote a play called The Pitch. And the pitch is about the trajectory of a young man who's a Latino trying to get into show business. There was a lot of truths in it, and I needed money. So a friend of mine who's the manager for Jose Ramirez, we're very proud of him, the champion there in the Valley,
right.
Boxing champ. And he contacted Bobby and said, "Hey, Rodriguez here. He needs some money, some help." And besides Bobby having a great salsa, and I'm not just saying that, it's true. His heart was in the right place. You know, he gave me some money. I was able to put that play on at the Los Angeles Theater. We got great reviews, and the results we've gotten were very good because it basically tells the establishment that there's not enough Hispanics on American television. I mean, you see more African Americans and you see Latinos, and yet Hispanics are actually a larger group than African Americans. This is not to take anything away from African Americans. God knows I have a lot of friends and I have great respect for their talent. But you know, there's well over 22 million Hispanic Mexican Americans, Puerto Ricans, but we never seem to get those opportunities. I wasn't doing it for myself because I've been very fortunate. I've done a lot of jobs. But if you look at American television, you would think that America is 40% African American, whereas
right.
it isn't, you know. Right. I just think that Hispanics, we're too passive. We need to, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And I think there should be room at the table, you know, for Hispanic Americans. You know, for the numbers that we have, we're very underrepresented.
Right.
You know, other than I can't think of a show right now. My kid is in one, Selena, on Netflix. He's in that show, by the way.
The one your kid,
but,
the one with the beard.
The one with the beard, yeah, he's in industry.
Awesome.
The kid's an actor. You didn't know that?
What show was that?
My friend doesn't know. My kid is one of the band members in the series Selena that's coming out on Netflix.
So does he actually play in a band too?
Yeah, he does play, but my kid is actually better known for being a skateboarder. He's a world champion skateboarder. Nice. He was the first Latino to have his own Nike shoe. He's got 13. He's on his 13th shoe. He knew Kobe Bryant very well. He designed his own shoes.
He has action figures at Target.
Action figures at Target.
Why am I talking to you, Paul? Where's your son?
I know everybody says that. You know, if I knew he was going to turn out so good, I would have had more and stayed with his mom. But stop laughing. She could be watching. But you know, he's a blessing from God. He's been terrific, and there will always be a Paul Rodriguez apparently because he's taken over, and I'm good with that. Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow. Are you guys ever going to act in something together? That'll be exciting to see.
Well, we are working on something. As a matter of fact, I wrote this thing called the Bodega Boys. We've done a lot of pitches, but for one reason or another, you know, it's really hard to get the people in Hollywood to believe that a show about Latinos or with Latinos can have success. It's very, very hard. You have, you know, I pitched them an idea called Three Generations with Edward Olmos, myself, and my son.
Ooh,
just his followers alone is millions of people. They passed on it. NBC gave us a deal. They passed on it. ABC gave us a deal. They passed on it. So I'm not gonna use the race card, but
I will.
but Mel will. It's just hard, you know. I don't know why. I think these people. I talk to a lot of the executives, and they give you lip service. And I think the situation is that they figure that if you're Latino, you should be on Telemundo or Univision. And of course, I've done that too.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to explain to them that there's a lot of Hispanic Americans who don't really function in Spanish. They talk English,
Right.
you know? And there's a big market for that. But slowly but surely, the doors are opening. Not fast enough for me, because I believe that. But in the future, I think that a lot of the young actors and actresses coming up.
Well,
and
can
this
you
is
pitch
why
it
I
to
want to start a
Netflix?
theater company. Huh?
Can you pitch it to Netflix?
What?
That show?
Every time I go to Netflix, it's wonderful. Mr. Rodriguez, come in, sit down. We're big fans. We're so happy to. Here, you want some coffee? You want a beer? Can we get you anything? How are you? And then, yeah, we'll think about it. And then they don't do it. I don't know. I think it's sad. See, when I go there, I'm not looking for a job for me, really. I got plenty of projects, and actually, I'm semi-retired. You know, I don't really want to work that much. But it's a shame that you have a lot of very talented, prepared Hispanic kids who took the classes and everything, but there's just no shows for them, you know. But the doors are opening slowly. You have Jane the Virgin, who was a very good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, she was at my house. We shot a couple of things, and then a month later, she got that show. I was very instrumental in her career. I'm happy for her, and I think that's my job now, to basically, you know, see talent and help them out wherever I can. You know, I want to poke on the ribs to the system. You know, be a thorn on their side until they take us into consideration. I mean, there's no reason why every network has at least 5, 6 African American shows. Every time they talk about minority helping minorities out, they always think black. They don't think brown. I want to make sure that they have brown on their mind. You know, I want to make sure that when my granddaughter sits there to see television, that she'll see more than just Dora the Explorer. You know, there should be room for us. There should be. There has to be room. If we own the airwaves and we're citizens, but the problem is that we're very passive. You know, a lot of my actor friends, they don't want to protest at the Oscars. They don't want to protest at the Emmys because they're concerned about their career.
About their
you know,
jobs,
they don't
yeah.
want to be
That's a
blacklisted.
very hard decision.
Me, I don't care. There's nothing they can do to me. You know, I mean, they want to blacklist me. Hey, I tell all my Latino friends, hey, you're not working now. You know, what are you afraid of? You know? I don't care. I think I'm going to continue to make noise because it's not gonna stay like this. I think people like Bobby and you know, a lot of people, Latinos who have been very successful. They're the ones that we got to get together and have them write to Coca-Cola and write to Procter & Gamble and let them know that we are not satisfied with these numbers. We need equal representation. Even their own numbers will tell you that Asian Americans, who are like 1 or 2% of the population, have more prominence on television than we do. You know, we are very, very El Paso. There's some cities where we are the majority, you know, and yet there's no. You know, the George Lopez show was on, and that canceled. I think that should have continued. You know, Fluffy is doing good. There's 1 or 2, but if you stop to think of how many shows of African Americans there are, you lose count. You know, I think that they should have Blackish, but they should have Brownish also. You know,
well,
and they'll tell
that'd
you, well,
be a great show. I'd love that.
Brownish.
Yeah.
Sounds like a burnt cookie, but I'll picture that. No, there are good writers. See, the problem is that the people who run the networks, they don't see Mexican Americans as intellectuals or doctors or lawyers or upper middle class.
That's another problem, is the typecasting.
They don't never see people like that. The people they see, and a guy named John Peters, who used to be president of Colombia, was married to Barbara Streisand. He told me a long time ago that he feels that the problem is that all these executives who come from the East Coast, when they go home, it's Socorro who's taking care of their kids, is Juan who's taking care of their lawn, is Manuel who's taking care of their car. Right. They don't know any Mexican Americans who they consider their intellectual equals. America has the wrong concept of us. They think that we are just you know, muscle. We're not brains. You know, and of course we do humble jobs. My parents were migrant farm workers, but the next generation is not necessarily so. The colleges are full of Mexican Americans. I see a bright future for us, and we should be prepared. I wish I were young again. I think the future is going to be Latino. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's going to happen. And I think you have a lot of fans out there that are going to push. If you have a movement, you want us to sign up and write to Coca-Cola, write to everything, make it happen. Well,
I simply think that one person can make a difference. You know, one letter to the president of Procter and Gamble, and it doesn't have to be an angry letter. It's just a question saying, you know, my name is so and so. I got 3 kids. I got 4 kids. I watch television, and I'm concerned that I've had a lot of Hispanic Latinos who don't want to help me in this battle. They go, just even my agents always said, you know, you could have done more if you would just be less of a loose cannon.
If you just shut up.
Don't rock the boat. But the thing is, look, when my granddaughter sits down to watch television, and when your granddaughter or your kids or whoever, when Latino kids are watching television and they don't see themselves on morning cartoons, they don't see themselves on their favorite soap operas, they don't see themselves, they are affected by low self-esteem. And that translates into a lot of problems, but I can't get LULAC or I can't get the MAPA or MECHA or none of these people. They think that the battle is not that important. The show business is not that important. And I beg to differ, because show business is the thing that goes into people's homes. Perception is reality in this business, you know, and if all they see us is narco traffickers and gangbangers and that sort of thing, then the conception of us is detrimental to our future, you know. The thing with Hispanic Americans is that many of our young ladies will marry a white guy and move to the suburbs, and their battle is over, you know. But I think that we have to continue to let America know that we are not only your servants. We are not your maids. We are not your lowly jobs that maybe our parents did that, but a lot of the second generation, we're just as smart and we're just as talented, and we have to keep knocking on the door. Nobody has ever gave up opportunities. Just you know, the president of these networks is not going to say, "Oh, let's have the Ramirez family." No, you have to continue to be in their face. You have to continue to prop them, and you know, we'll make them come around one day. I hope I'm around for that.
Well, it took you a while to get the water going, and it's going. So if it takes a while, we'll get this going, Paul.
It's going to take a while, and I want to thank Bobby Salazar. You know, him and his wife have been very supportive, and I want to let them know that when I told them that I was going to be a fan of their salsa and of theirs and their restaurants, I've been eating at their restaurants ever since I used to live there in Fresno, and he's a perfect example of a successful businessman. You know, he's not one of these Latinos that has just sat down and waited for success to come out of thin air. I mean, I admire that sort of thing. You know, I don't care what you do. I try to tell youngsters, you know, whether your dream is in fashion, or whether your dream is to have your own makeup line, or your dream is to have your own car company, whatever your dream is, this sounds very cliche-ish, but it is possible. It is possible.
It's just a lot of hard
work.
Don't let
nobody take those dreams away from you, you know. It's not going to come easy. It's a lot of hard work. I can't tell you any very successful people who just had it handed to them, you know, other than me. But
it's cool that we could buy this anywhere. You know? Isn't it cool that you got to buy your local stuff now in LA?
Yeah,
you could buy this all over.
I did it. I have a white maid now. I pay a lot more, but it works. You know, I have a white lady who's my maid. And I pay her a little extra. They're more expensive than a Latina, but I always tell her it's pronounced Salazar, not Zalazar. Salazar. And I said, look for the label. Go get it. I try to support anything Latino. We have to support. You know, I mean, this is what we should learn from other ethnic groups in America. You know, they support each other. I mean, we've been here for a long time, and we should be a lot further than we are. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that something inside us doesn't want to support each other. They're afraid that their success won't be our success. It's not true. There's always room. There's more room at the top than at the bottom. At the bottom is crowded. Look, it's me and Mel Garcia here at the bottom.
Oh, Mel, we got you in there.
We're pretending to be gay just to get a TV series. We're pretending to be gay. You know, we love everything about the gay lifestyle. We love the shopping, the decorations, the camaraderie. Pretending. But we should support each other. You know, I mean, in anything we do, we should try to. You know, this is what other groups do. When you go to the store, you should say the same way I vote. When I vote, maybe it's not the right thing, but when I vote, I look down for anybody whose last name ends with a Z. That's where I'm putting my vote. A lot of times you don't elect the right guy, but my heart's in the right place.
Thank you so much, Paul. We're gonna follow you on Instagram, Twitter. What are you big on, Instagram or Twitter? Where are you really vocal and active?
I have somebody who's running that for me. To be honest with you, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, but not really. You know, most of the time
where can we hear your
I'm
clips?
in my room. Huh?
Where can we go to hear your
Most of the time I'm in my room writing jokes. Let's try some jokes on them. Here's a couple of jokes I'm going to try on. Here's how jokes are written. All right, Mel, read one. I'm going to say, you know, my girlfriend is taking this this social distancing too far. She left me. Why is it that when people have a pandemic, they always run out and buy toilet paper? I think the disease is at the wrong end. Remember, he wrote these. What's another one? I was thinking of adages. Here, I can't read this. I don't have my glasses. These are the jokes I'm going to be doing for TBS. Trust me, in a week or so, they'll be funnier than they are now. If not, the check won't clear.
When we follow you, we're going to know when to watch this, right? TBS.
Yeah, you can look out for Clifford the Big Red Dog on Paramount Pictures coming out November. Look out for another movie that I did. It's called A Silent Life, story by Rudolph Valentino. I play a gigolo. And I have another picture called Chateau Vato that will be coming out on Netflix in about, 3 months or so. Yeah.
Nice. This will be exciting. But we got
It's,
whoever's
then I
updating
have
your
a-
social media has got to tell us when, the date. So I'm
Yeah, I know. I got to pay him, though. I'm going to do the Latino version of Brokeback Mountain with Danny Trejo. It's gonna be, man, that's a big mountain, eh? It's a story about camping out there in Lake Avocado Lake, up in the Sequoias.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Holmes, why do I gotta hold your hand when we're gonna go camping? Shut up, we're trying to get it done. Saludos a todos, and ahí nos vemos pronto. I should be going over there next week or so. I understand that there's a lemon harvest over there in my mom's ranch, and I got to do it myself. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Paul, you're so exciting. And also keep us posted on the Fresno theater that you're going to create.
I will, Sparkle. Thank you very much. Nice meeting you through the medium here. And, you know, you're a good-looking girl. I was telling Mel, I don't know what she looks like, man. But you're a very pretty girl, and I wish you a lot of success, yeah?
Thank you so much, Paul. We appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Jerry, the comedian. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to finally have you on. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
So Jerry, tell us about your comedic career, because you've been everywhere. You've done everything. You do a little travel. Tell us about it.
Well, I've been doing it for about 16 years already. Well, actually 16 years today.
Today's your anniversary of being a comedian?
Nah, it was in April.
I was
but
like, Cinco
to
de
me,
Mayo?
it feels like, yeah, nah, that would be nice though, huh? Do some Mexican comedy on Cinco de Mayo. But no, it's been fun. I've got to meet a lot of wonderful people. I've gotten to meet you guys. I've traveled. I really haven't done the East Coast. That's what I'm working on, is the East Coast. But you know, then the Rona hit, so
Yeah.
just kind of sit on standby right now. You know, I was about to get my first big tour going in August, but Hey, I waited 16 years. What's another couple months, right?
I'm with you, darling. There were some things that were going to happen for me, and then it's like, man, this happened, and it's like, it sounds kind of fake. There's a lot of people in this boat, but because it happened to me, I believe you. Think big things are going to happen this year, and we're all kind of put on pause.
Yeah. Oh well. At least we're still alive, right?
Right. Tell me about what were some of the spots that you had in the Central Valley and around California, like some of your regular spots.
Well, actually, I was breaking out there to California because I've mostly been doing over here the Southwest since I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Oh wow!
And I was already, yeah, man. So whenever I was getting work, I would drive my happy butt over there to California and see you guys. And that was
so what made you a Californian?
I just that's where the comedy work is. That's where the Mecca is. That's where you got to go.
That's great. So you actually came here for your career.
I've gone out there, yeah. I just, like I said, I just started breaking out there about a year ago.
In California?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm still over here in El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
So I spend a lot of gas going out to see you guys.
Well, Texas seems like a really great thing, but I don't know anything about the comedian scene in Texas. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's different. It's a lot different. Over here, we could say whatever we want still. We could be a lot cruder on stage, and
we're more conservative here in Cali?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Believe it or not, there's a list of words we can't say in Cali. Over here in El Paso or in Texas, they just pop out. People don't care. Like, I don't know, it's just when people go out here, like, how can I put it? It's like the comedy out here in Texas, it's just no holds barred. People want to go out and they want to hear everything. You know what I mean? And out there in Cali, we do have to watch our mouths a little more.
So, Jerry, you've been doing some movies lately.
Yes, ma'am, I have. I just finished doing for the Financial Literacy Fund, or film festival. And I got to play Bob, which was a pretty good role for me. That I've never had the opportunity to do a lot of film work. And doing this film was fun because I got to be somebody that I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to own a diner. You know what I mean? And here I got to do that.
So what else is there anything else on TV or Netflixy, anything that we've seen you in?
Actually, not yet. It was all in the works right now.
When all of that happened. But you've blown up Texas.
Yes, out here in Texas.
Because everybody knows you in that area, right?
Yes, ma'am, they do. They can't help it. I'm always in their face.
Don't worry. That's like me and Callie. I mean, if I didn't force myself on people, I don't know if they'd watch me.
It's like, you'll like me. Just give me some time. You'll like me. That's how I convinced my wife to get with me.
Hey, it worked.
It worked. 23 years and still counting.
How? I'm not going to ask your age, but wow, 23 years. That's impressive.
I'm 40. I just turned 40 April 29th.
So you've been with her since you were 17?
We've lived together since we were 17. We made a kid when we were 16.
That's crazy. Wow. So you have a 24-year-old?
I have a 23-year-old and I have a 20-year-old son.
Wow. That's
when we walk into stores, we don't even look like a family. We look like a gang.
It's funny that you live in Texas forever because there's something very East Coast about your accent.
Really?
I get a flair.
Wow, no, I've never gotten that.
What do people usually think you're from?
I'm from El Paso, Texas. Technically, Texas doesn't even know that El Paso is in Texas. I think it's just the El Paso accent. Everybody is like me, pretty much.
So you toured a lot in California. You toured in Texas, and you said most of the West Coast. What are some other places that you toured?
Well, I was mostly just the Southwest. I mean, over here, we've got a nice long stretch. Over here, Texas, it's like its own country.
It really
It really is. I mean, it takes hours to get across it. It takes hours to get to the next gig. Touring Texas is like touring Europe, over here. Except it's a lot hotter.
So what's the weather like today?
Actually, it's beautiful out here. I think it's breezy. It's about 87 degrees right now. In the shade, feels nice and cool. I'm glad we did this interview now because in the summer, I'd be melting. I'd look like my Rubik's Cube.
Okay, so I want to see a little bit of stand-up for you. What have you got for me, Jerry?
Well, I can tell you that I'm very happy to be here. I just found out this morning that for the third time in my life, Miss Sparkles, I'm about to be a dad again. Yes, thank you.
That's
you.
Serious?
He's 12
I
years
was
old.
waiting for
He's 12 years old. The Attorney General just found me.
Oh my God.
Everybody loves that one. Have you seen I went to go visit with this whole Corona thing going on, older and uncles, and I went to go visit a couple of them. Well, my aunt walks up to me, and we've got our masks on, and we've got glass and screen, and she tells me, "Mijo, have you watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary?" I was like, of course I did. I mean, who's not watching it right now, right? She's like, "Mijo, I was watching it, and you need to. Are you still smoking the marijuana?" And I was like, well, yeah, it's something I've done my whole life. And she's like, "No, mijo, you need to stop. You need to stop smoking marijuana. You know why?" I go, "Why?" She says, "Or else you're going to end up just like Aaron Hernandez." I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to end up an overprivileged sociopathic killer?" She's like, "No, mijo, worse. Bisexual."
Oh my God.
That's just a little flavor, of what I got. I've got about 6 hours of that.
Oh my, what's the most controversial joke? You gotta say it here on the Sparkle Show.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Sparkles.
The most controversial joke you have. You have the most, do you hear me now?
If I have to keep on going, I could do one more. I just found out that, I'm 40 years old, but my doctor says I have the liver of a 53-year-old. So, Ms. Sparkles, if that doesn't show you maturity in a man, I don't know what will.
Jerry, can you hear me?
I can't hear you yet.
Oh my.
I want to. I really want to hear you.
Hold on. KP, what's up?
What else do I got? Trying
Just
to think
keep
of
talking.
something family appropriate for you guys. I wasn't always a comedian, okay? I did grow up in central El Paso, Texas. It was a really tough neighborhood. And to this day, I'm not going to lie, it's left me traumatized. To this very day, every time a slow-moving vehicle cruises by me, my cholo senses, they start tingling. And stupid ice cream men get me every time.
Oh my gosh, so explain some of the stuff that the virus totally messed you up with. Some of the stuff you had in the works.
Man, that was my greatest stuff. Like, I was finally going to be on two motion movies, full awesome pictures with some awesome actors.
Anybody I know?
I can't say who yet, but
you're so boring, Jared.
Everybody know. Well, okay, I'll tell you one thing.
Oh, I don't want you to get in trouble.
I was going to be a cowboy right here. No. I shouldn't
Okay,
get in
okay.
trouble. But I was gonna be a cowboy, a Chicano or Latino cowboy on an all-black film being filmed out here in the Southwest.
Wow.
Yeah. The name of the actor here. We're gonna play a little guessing game. The actor. That way, I don't say it. You say it. The main actor was gonna be the gatekeeper from Thor. Okay, it was Idris Elba.
Oh, that's so awesome. Are you serious? That's so cool.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And well, of course, he came out, and you know, he was one of the first actors that got tested, and it was like, oh, I've got Corona. It's like, now we've all got to wait. And
Are you
then
serious?
another big film. Yes, yeah. We were gonna be filming like already, like in April. We were gonna film.
But
all
he
my
got
stuff.
corona?
Yeah, he was one of the first ones. Like probably like I want to say like a week after Tom Hanks had found out.
Okay. I
Well,
missed
think
that,
they were all
man. I'm
in
a fan of his.
Australia. Yeah, and then of course the Rona shut everything down, and then we were looking at being on one of John Singleton, what was gonna be John Singleton's last show or last movie with Sean Penn and all that. They're doing a thing for Colors, the sequel, and I was gonna be on that one. Well, I
Wow.
am, but just gotta wait.
So
Yeah,
you
those
have
are
an
gonna be my
agent or
two
something?
big
You're
breaks,
doing big
man.
things.
Ma'am, I do have an agent. That's why I started breaking out more with you guys recently. My agent, who got us together, Miss Michelle Murray at KMP Entertainment.
I
gave you a
really
shout
like
out,
this
homegirl.
lady. I haven't met her
She
yet,
is-
though. But
She is awesome. She is awesome, and she also got me hooked up with this other producer, and we're actually we're still gonna do it. All this we're still doing, but it's on the racks right now. The Laughter Legion, which was gonna be my Laughter Legion, 1,000 stand-up comics being filmed out there on a patio in Hollywood, and then building the residency through Vegas. So that's my biggest one right there.
well, I hope things continue. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, what was the worst comedic experience? Like, did you ever get heckled so bad, or like, what happened? You got to
man.
be honest. Come on, this is fun.
That's gonna be hard because there's been so many. Well, I think the worst one was I've had beer thrown at me, like full cans, the 16-ounce cans of Land Shark. I had some guys, they weren't really heckling. They were just going about their drunken business. And I started playing around with them, you know, because that's what you do. Hey, stupid, you know, blah, 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 blah. And they started getting all crazy, and bouncers are walking them out. But as he's walking them out to the left side of the stage, he just, like Joe Namath, he just zooms that Land Shark across the stage and just barely misses my face, man. And of course, I'm just sitting there wet, full of beer, and I was upset because I could have drank that beer. You know what I mean? It should have been mine.
It's called alcohol abuse, damn it.
Exactly, you know. And here they are calling me a drug offender in Texas, but that's not true. I've never offended a single one. I cried over that beer. But I'm glad to say that the majority of my experience as a comedian has been beautiful. It's been wonderful. I've had some people try to sabotage and ruin me, of course, on social media, but it just got me more publicity and
Right?
more followers. So
There's no such thing as bad
thank
publicity.
you. Well, there is, but you know, you don't want to be certain comics these days. But I'm glad I'm me.
Who's your inspiration? What comedian were you like, I kind of want to follow that guy's career?
Bill Hicks. He was a comic from Houston. He died in the late 90s, but his message of like unifying humanity and just everybody around us with comedy and with the truth, he inspired me to get up there and start saying the truth. Like I'd go up there and I'd just make stuff up, you know what I mean, to get people laugh. But after a while, I started picking at real things in life, in my life, and it just made things better for me, you know. It just made everything flow better. And he was kind of like the guy, kind of like a George Carlin type of guy. But aside from dying, I would love to have his career.
Well, I think you might when everything gets back on track. So you've always lived in Texas, just different parts of Texas, right?
I've always lived in El Paso.
Oh, so you've always lived in El Paso, and then you spent a lot of time in California just coming back and forth for the different projects you've had.
Yes, ma'am, exactly.
But that's great. You get to still live there and have your career. That's pretty incredible, right?
It's a little extra work, but I think it's worth it. You know, I mean, my wife, she has her life here. My wife she's a teacher. You know, she's a pillar of society.
A teacher married to a comic.
Yeah.
Does she take you there for career day?
With her teacher voice. Oh no. No, not the way I smell.
Is this the stay in school method? Hey, if you don't stay in school, you're going to become this guy.
And then they start looking me up on YouTube, and they're like, "Hey, this guy's not so bad."
That'd be the comedy in her.
To me with her teacher voice. Oh yeah, I'm actually doing this because of her. It's her fault I'm doing this.
Okay, tell us that story.
Yep. Well, I've been a goofball my whole life.
No.
I was. Oh yeah, man. And one day we decided to go with my sister and my brother-in-law to Austin, to 6th Street. Go, you know, enjoy the weekend, get loaded. We were barely 21, so I was like, let's do it. And when we're out there, there's a small little comedy club there. They charged us $5 to get in. I'm already being a pain in the butt, you know. I tell the guy at the door, you know, hey, if it sucks, will I get my money back and whatever. Then we go in, we started enjoying the show. I was way too intoxicated to be anywhere near comedy that night. But I started heckling the guy, and I started telling him, I don't know what I told him, but he eventually threw the microphone at me. I caught the mic. I went up on the stage. I did like a minute and a half routine. I don't know what I said. I was just being an idiot. But everybody started laughing, and the guy was like, God, man, damn it. That's not what I wanted, you know? And when my wife is telling the story coming back to El Paso from over there, it's about an 8-hour drive. We're coming back, and my wife's telling my sister and my brother-in-law how awesome I did and how people were laughing and that I should do it, that I should pursue it. And I was actually working on ambulances. I was an intermediate at the time. I was saving lives. That's why we went out there, I think, just to get a break. And that's where I started writing my jokes, in the back of ambulances.
Wow, that is an incredible story. I love that. The back of ambulances. Dun, dun, dun.
You know what? I can't hear you.
Lost me. Okay, Jared. Well, you've done great.
Go back.
Okay. I'm ready to end it.
Yeah, edit. Try to react. There you go.
I can hear you guys.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jerry, thank you so much for coming on. You're awesome. I'm going to keep up with everything you're doing. And what's your website? So we can, is it your website, Facebook, or Insta, where you like tell us what's up?
It's mostly Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram, whatever I got going
Twitter?
on. I let you guys all know.
Okay,
Twitter, I'm
let
on
us
Twitter.
know.
It's just Jerry Karnes, Karnes. Just look up Jerry Karnes, and you'll find me, pretty much. It's either between me and this old white pastor out there, like in Mississippi or Alabama. I'm not the Alabama.
You're not
one.
the white pastor from Alabama.
I'm not the white pastor from Alabama.
Jerry, thank you so much. It was really fun talking to you.
Ms. Sparkles, thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. Have a beautiful and awesome day, everybody. Peace.